What's up, world? It's Katrina
and Marlena, and this is Excess Baggage,
the podcast where two friends in their 30s unpack all of life's baggage. This episode, we'll be unpacking the holidays.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hey, girl.
What up?
There's a little energy there.
Yeah, I'm recovering, to be honest. I'm recovering. I had zero energy Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday. I had zero energy the last couple of days. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to tip over to the other side. But this time change, like how dark it gets, it's not helping me at all. But I also like when it's dark too. I have moments where I like that, but then when it keeps going, then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like it was cool for like maybe a week, but
right.
How long we gonna have to do this? And I really don't even know how it works. I mean, I do, but like they keep saying like, we don't need a time change. We don't need to do anything. And I'm okay, but it's still getting dark early. So I don't know. I guess I don't know what they're going to do. But anyway.
I don't either. I just know it is pitch black outside and it's not even 7 o'clock.
Right. And it's at like 5:30 almost.
Right. And I don't know how people expect us to still be functioning.
Yeah.
But anyways, what is your baggage today, ma'am?
What is my baggage today? I mean, we'll probably get into it anyway because today we're talking about holidays because I just hosted a party for my company and it just was a lot. It was a lot. And it was draining. But I made it through, I made it through, but it's shocking the amount of, non-comprehension people have, and
that's not what I expected you to say.
Simple, just like reading and different things that, and I'm guilty of it too. I am guilty of it too. I am not going to sit here and say that like I read every single email.
Sure.
I mean, I kind of have to because of the type
your
of
job
position that I'm in. So I kind of, even if I don't read the full thing, like I still need to at least skim to see what the hell is going on. And I just don't know if people have the same commitment. There was a lot of non-communication and a lot of reaching out. And, I know that working in general, you're in some type of service.
Yeah.
So, but it felt like straight customer service with the amount of messages I was getting. Like just, it just felt like almost as if I was IT and I was getting tickets. That's how many messages I was getting. And so that's, I already receive a lot just from work and just different things. And so on top of that, that was just a lot to keep up on. But
right.
I made it. So I guess,
made it.
My baggage was I was just sluggish. So I'm trying to get
I can't imagine being the one trying to host them things because those things, trying to do anything with any large group of people is a challenge to begin with, but especially a large group of people that like, we ain't really friends. Like it's just a bunch of people that just happen to be in the same building or like work in the same place in the same department or whatever. Like that's our main shared interest. Like that's really challenging.
Yeah. And I don't, we at my company have hired a lot of people. So a lot of people I didn't even know. I just didn't know. And that was a first because there was so many years where we were just like a close, tight-knit group. And of course you get new people come in and stuff like that. But, within the last 3 years, it has been obvious, that we're outnumbered. At least the OGs are. So, that was interesting. That's also like a little draining because you're like over and over again being reintroduced And then there was
Mhm.
like, hi, well, hey, like, like, and especially when you're also hosting and doing all this other stuff, that's a lot too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just happy that I'm not gonna put them out here, but one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, should we put should we put on name tags?" And I was like, "Hell no, no, no! What? This ain't no seminar. This is like the end of year like celebration. We worked hard. They're hosting a nice party for us. Like, no, that's not. People can just walk up to each other and speak. Like,
Say hi, right?
what?
Use your words.
Yeah. So that's where I was at. But anyway,
I'm glad you made it through.
I made it through. What about you? What's your baggage?
I don't know why the way I want to like sum this up is by saying I'm sick of niggas. I don't know why that's like the verbiage.
Okay.
Which is not at all the whole story, but like that's how my brain is translating it in this moment. I am not and will never be a man. I cannot understand how they operate. I just cannot. Like psychologically, sociologically, I get it. I understand the institutions. I understand the dynamics, the training, right? Like the way that we've been socialized and all of these things. Mm-hmm. I get it. Psychologically, sociologically, I get it. But I don't get it. I have no concept of how they move through the world and don't think about certain things and they don't get it. So to get some context to this, let's just say in the last quarter of this year, I have had 2 male individuals that I no longer engage with, have not engaged with in years. Like we are not in communication with each other. Somehow insert themselves into my sphere again, and in weird and what feels like inappropriate and kind of creepy ways to me. I don't think that they see it that way, and I don't understand how they don't see it that way.
Okay, are they popping up unannounced?
Yes.
See, I don't vibe with that.
I don't vibe with that at all. Like, okay, so one of them, he didn't pop up unannounced, but like he just happened to see me somewhere, did not come up to speak to me, but text me to make sure that it was me, continued to like try to text me. I stopped the text message conversation at that point because I'm like, okay, you saw me. I confirmed that it was me. You're not going to come up and speak. Like, I don't have nothing more to say. And I was out with a guy. Like, I'm on a date. So I'm also like, are you going to speak or are you not going to speak? Because this looks weird. And then proceeded to schedule. So I do Reiki, like energy healing, proceeded to schedule a Reiki session after that. Even though I stopped responding to him and we stopped like engaging, he proceeded to schedule a Reiki session after that. And I was like, in what world is it appropriate for you to decide that you're going to schedule a service at some woman's job?
And we are no longer involved. What makes you think that I'm going to take this said appointment? Like, we all know what this is about. Like, you're just trying to get in my wheelhouse or get a chance to talk to me.
You don't see how that's weird?
You could just cash up me the money, sir, that I would have done. And then I will accept one more text message, and it better be a block fucking paragraph so you can tell me exactly what the fuck you want. Because other than that, you coming over here and why? There's no need for it.
What do you want? And that's the part I was like, I'm sitting over here like, one, I don't want to take the appointment, and I'm in business for myself, so I can cancel that appointment. But if I wasn't, this would be a very strange situation.
Right.
Where I wouldn't have the autonomy necessarily to be like, I don't want to work with this person in that capacity. Like, that's weird, whatever. But what possesses you to think that that is okay, that that is appropriate, that we should be we never even did that when we were in communication with each other. So why do you think that that is appropriate now?
Yeah, no, it's weird.
It was like so weird. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm also like looking at it and I'm like, what do you want? am I gonna walk into work? So this is the part where I'm like, I'm sick of niggas. Like, I don't understand how you don't think this through. And I'm thinking, am I walking into work today in a situation that's going to be uncomfortable? Are you going to keep it professional and sit through the Reiki session? Or are you going to like flirt? Or are you going to try to catch up? Or are you like, I don't know what's happening here. There's no context to this. You just all of a sudden, like, that's uncomfortable. And you're not thinking about that?
No.
And then the other person is an ex I ain't talked to, ain't seen in years, who just popped up at my mama's house.
No. No.
Like, you just knocking on niggas' doors?
I'm so happy my parents live in a gated community. I've only had one person pop up once upon a time. But
that shit was weird. One person pop up, and that was this moment. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Popped up at my mama's house.
And did what?
Wanted to talk to my father. Me and this nigga don't talk. We have not talked. I've actually intentionally ignored this nigga because he tried to pop up every couple years.
Maybe you're the one that got away, Katrina.
Fuck that.
And he wants to make sure that somehow, some way, on some cold, lonely night or some bullshit. I really think that people think this, though. Like, I really think that they put people on pedestals and they keep fixating on it and fixating on it and fixating on it, and then finally they start doing crazy shit like popping up over someone mama's house. That's what's not normal behavior.
In your head. This is not normal behavior. This is like, even if you're not looking for me, where do you get it through your head? And mind you, we did not have an amicable breakup. We're not friends. We're not cool. We ain't been cool. And I have intentionally ignored this person on multiple occasions over the years. Why do you feel like it is okay for you to pop up at my mama's house?
I'm telling you, they're crazy. They're crazy. I mean, I've had some people, I've had someone literally in my DMs since, I want to say 2011, 2012, and he keeps popping up. And it's like an old coworker that I was nice to. This is somebody who, not in my current job, but another job I was at, that I was nice to, you know, hey, just spoke to him, was friendly to him, whatever, but that was it. Like, nothing, never hung out with them outside work, never exchanged phone numbers, never kept it completely, you know, professional and PC. And this motherfucker thinks we're BFFs. Like, every chance he gets, he like sends me a message. And maybe it's not every day or anything like that, but it's definitely like a couple times a year where it's like, oh, let me just try this one more time. Like, and I'm always just so confused. I'm like, because if you look back on these messages, like if you just scroll up, I have not said anything, nothing. Like,
nothing. How do y'all not see this as like inappropriate, weird, creepy? Like, at some point, there has to be a thought that says, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should leave this woman alone.
Because it's worked before. That's why.
That can't be the only reason, though.
That can't be the only reason, no, but I guarantee it has worked before, where they have fucking, you know, just weighed somebody down and weighed them down and weighed them down and weighed them down until, like, boom, the person finally either says something or agrees to meet with them. Some type of something they felt they gained from doing said thing. Because other than that, it's just, I don't know. It's just a mental thing. It's very mental. It's very mental. I'm not going to have a blank conversation or pop up at nobody's mama's house.
No, I'm not. I'm just, it would never occur to me to do that. And everything in my mind, first of all, I wouldn't even think about it. But even if I thought about it, everything in my mind would be like, how would you feel if that happened? Does that feel appropriate?
Yeah, if a woman popped up at your mother's house.
Would that feel okay to you?
Depends on the type of relationship he has with his mama, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking about, though. Like, I'm going to think about it before I do it. You didn't think about that? It didn't occur to you, like, I wonder how Katrina's gonna feel that I popped up at her mama's house. This woman who has been ignoring me for like 6 years. Is she gonna be okay with this? Is this gonna feel appropriate to her? Like, at this point, stalker much? Like, what are you doing? This is weird. It's creepy behavior. And I don't understand. And that's my baggage. Like, niggas, get it together. I don't.
Yeah, no.
Y'all don't see how scary y'all are. Like, y'all just don't leave people alone. That shit's scary.
Well, statistically speaking, I can tell you who the main ones are out there doing the stalking. I'm just saying. And maybe it's testosterone. I don't know. Maybe it's something chemically speaking on some men, not all, clearly, but on some. That is just like, once they hit a certain, like, I don't know, veil, I don't know, if, they go into some type of trance or some shit, and they literally just forget all logic. All logic is out the door. They just do.
This is the thing, though. This is the part that I'm struggling with, is I don't know that they had it. I don't know. It's one thing to forget. It's another thing to just never have had it. And I think our society does a good job of not teaching them to have it in the first place. I have a hard time believing that they're forgetting. Well, but that's a whole other issue.
Right.
In this moment, my baggage is I'm sick of niggas doing creepy, weird, scary shit and not thinking about the implications of their behaviors. Because now I'm like, is this nigga gonna be at my mama's house the next time I go over there? Like, why are you popping up? What are you
know what? I just thought about something, but I'm not gonna share. I'll tell you off the air, but I just thought about something, just how, like, okay, in this scenario, right? Okay, so it doesn't work for you, right? But let's say you were in another headspace. You were in another headspace, and maybe, this particular person you were into, you were into them, and they popped up, or they said they were going to do something. Does our makeup change because of the way that we feel about the person, or is it just disdain all around? Like, are we just not cool? Because I feel like the way they portray us, especially women in like films and a lot of things, is just like, oh my God. And then, he followed me. I mean, he went to my job and he did, and different shit. And it's like this thing where it's like, see, look, I went above and beyond and I did this and it worked. And it's just like the
even
messaging.
If I like you, that behavior is creepy.
No, I agree.
And I'm going to tell you, like, bruh, you can't be following me. That's weird.
I agree, but I'm saying,
get my number and call
some
me
people
later,
don't.
This shit,
right? But I'm telling you, some people, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Y'all gotta do better. That's all I gotta say. Y'all gotta do better. Y'all gotta talk to your boys. Those of y'all who are doing better, you gotta talk to your boys, because this shit, that's some creepy shit. That's not okay. That's my baggage for the day.
Well, I'm sorry that so these
that
two
niggas
men,
is creepy.
Yeah, I'm sorry that they doing weird shit. Yeah, I haven't had no weird shit with dudes lately.
Me either. Like, this is all of a sudden, it's like pandemic is officially over and niggas is acting weird.
Well, shit, they might be pent up, but that's another story.
Go somewhere else with that.
They might be
barking
pent
up
up,
the wrong tree, bruh.
Think about what I'm telling you, it's pent up thinking about the one that got
wrong
away.
Tree, bruh. Go away.
Anyway, well, y'all need to figure that out, because that ain't it. I'll just leave it. I'll just say that ain't it.
That ain't it at all.
But today's topic is about the holidays, because it is the holidays. We are pushing through the full fucking year. I don't even know how we made it here. Thanksgiving was a blur. It came, it went, it was over. I just love all those memes about the food and how, like, you got to throw the food out within 3 days. And I'm like, that, like, Americans are poor, so no one's doing that. People probably were eating on that all week, whether it was recommended by, what are they called?
Health professionals or whatever.
Whatever. I was going to say the FDA, but no, maybe not that. No, not the FDA. No, food, drug. Yeah, FDA, I guess. But yeah, they were saying like, nah, y'all need to throw your shit over in 3 days. And I'm like, no one's doing that. No one is doing that. I know that they're not. I mean, my mom was even like, oh, why don't you just freeze this mac and cheese and then you bring it out? You know, I was like, Mom, I'm not.
I've never had frozen mac and cheese.
I told her, I was like, I'm probably not going to do that.
I didn't know that people did that.
They just freeze it and then bring it out of the deep freezer or whatever and then fucking warm it back up. But my thing is, I guess because it's cheese. And cheese, I mean, for the most part, yeah, it goes bad. I mean, obviously don't eat it like a year later, but like for the most part, cheese can pretty much hold.
Yeah, I never heard of anybody freezing mac and cheese. Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And we like a week and a half away from Christmas.
Yeah, and I'm not buying no gifts. I have a gift to myself. And that's it. I think I'll get my boss something, and I guess my grandparents, and that's
I like how the boss was a definite, but your grandparents are a guess.
Because, well, politics. And then for the parents, it's like, y'all don't need nothing. Like for me, y'all really don't need nothing. Everything you need is real shit. Like you need, a remodel in your house. You need to you need real shit. And it's like, yeah, let's work towards something. But me buying you a sweater or some socks, like that's just what? So you can just have something to open? I mean, I guess I don't know. I think right now everybody is kind of struggling financially wise anyway. So it's just like, no, we can just have a meal together and chill out. We don't have to buy any gifts. Like it's okay.
Yeah. I get that.
There's nothing and anything that I want. Like I would rather, my friend told me actually, he's like, oh, I'm going out for they don't even do, I don't know. They're probably going to have Christmas dinner, of course, but he said they're supposed to be hanging out around Christmas week or something like that. And he goes, when we're out, just if I see something that I want that's like less than $100, I'll just say I want this and then they can just buy it for me. And that's my Christmas gift. I'm okay with that. I don't need them to be, hustling and trying to be out here and figure out sizes and doing all this stuff. They don't know it like, our parents are getting older. Like they just don't have the patience to do that. Now, if they had grandkids, that's something totally different. I'm sure they'll be like, oh, I got them. They do that on their own. But I don't know about full adults.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. My grandmother is still too a little bit, but she kind of passed it on to my mom. They're still very much in the like buy gifts kind of spirit, but it's definitely slowed down a lot. Like y'all might get one or two somethings and then like a gift card or something like that because it is hard. It's harder to some degree to buy for adults. I think we have everything, or a lot of us in this moment, like when we were in college or when we were fresh out of college and stuff like that, like we were still struggling adults. So we needed a lot of things. I think now a lot of us are more stable, and so like the things that we want we get for ourselves, or it's things that like it's not that deep. I have everything I need, I'm fine.
Or stuff that I know y'all ain't got the money for. Like I'm not gonna ask them to give.
I'm not gonna. Right.
I want to fly somewhere. Y'all gonna buy some flights? Like I want to go to these concerts. Like y'all got ticket money? I don't think so. Like it's not. It's just not.
It's not in the Christmas budget.
No.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I have noticed something though. I noticed that there's something going on with this whole ticket stuff because I've been looking at concert. Like literally the last couple days, there's been announcement after announcement after announcement of people going on tour and that the tickets go on sale this week. And I feel like it's almost like Ticketmaster or maybe the artist. I don't know. It's like the end of the year and they're trying to get some fucking money because I'm like,
interesting.
Really? All within the same week? And maybe it's like a strategy to say, oh, it is the holidays. People can buy people
get a ticket now, right?
For now. But I'm also like, are y'all for real? Like, could we not have waited? Like, you just gave us like a month. Like, could we have made it to January before you do all this? Like, everybody's on a budget. I don't know. balling on the budget. I just
it does seem kind of late too. Like if you had did it earlier in December, late November, then at least it's like, oh, people were planning to buy gifts. At this point, I want to say a lot of people have gifts. Let's be honest, a lot of us don't. But I want to say at this point, like there are people who I haven't gotten gifts for, my mama and daddy included, and I don't know if they're getting anything at this point.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I've just kind of written it off. Like, well, y'all be all right.
They will. I'm just, I don't know.
So I don't know if like a ticket popped up, if I'm gonna go buy it. Like I think I made up my mind.
Yeah.
Seems late, but I guess there's somebody out there buying them.
Oh, for sure, girl. I already was looking. I mean, I didn't buy, but I was just looking because, you know, they have like the pre-sale and then
right.
You can just look to see. I've just been scanning to see how many tickets like in the pre-sale. People are buying. They're still buying, but it's still crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess they're doing a white elephant at work. I didn't even really know about it. I'm like, good. Nobody included me because I used
to not like those things at all. Like
you always get something you don't want.
Right. I get the premise and I think it's like a fun game to play, but like I don't want to buy an extra gift. I don't want to spend this time wrapping a gift or trying to like get something to be mindful of the people in my workspace. Like I don't want to exchange gifts with y'all.
Right.
Like I'm not in that kind of environment. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I miss gift giving with a boo thing. That was always fun because when you're like spending time with someone and you know that, you know, you talking and you hear things and, you know, you might keep a tab like, oh, this person said they really like this or something. And then you get them something that is meaningful to them. Because I've definitely received some gifts that I'm just like, you know, but I don't say anything, of course. But, well, I take that back. I have said some things.
What is this?
Not even what is this, but just like for Christmas, like, or like, I always think of just like the occasion. And I think, okay, there are categories, right? There's like the everyday gift. Not that, you know, not that you're giving gifts every day, but it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this person, you know, they needed extra laundry detergent. That's not really a gift, but you know, it's just like, it's practical something like, oh, she really needed, you know, something. And it's like, okay, like, yeah, that's thoughtful. I'm not saying it's not thoughtful, but it's super practical. And at Christmas, like if we're going with the theme of what Christmas is, it's not practical. It should be very fucking like, no, this is something that either is fun or she
desirable,
wants. Right. Or like she wouldn't get for herself right now because it's too much money or something like that. But I know that she would really, really like this. And vice versa, right? I think that's how gifts should be. But some people aren't good at it. They just aren't good at it. I've had situations where I'm just like, and I just think about it and I go, okay. But I try not to have that change the way that I give gifts because then it's like I'm just being a bitch now because I'm buying you fucking coal because I'm like, this motherfucker ain't gonna come up with nothing good. Right. That shouldn't be the reason I'm giving a gift. I'm giving the gift because I know that it's something that you would desire. Right. That's why I'm giving it to you.
Right.
But it's not in everybody's DNA. Yeah. It's not in all of it. No.
I still really enjoy the act of giving gifts and exchanging gifts. I think for me, it's more so I don't want to be forced into it. So I don't want to feel like I have to give anybody a gift because then it's like I feel like I'm just grasping at straws to get you something just because you're my mom or you're my sister or you're my coworker or whatever. Whereas if it's like, oh, it's the holidays and I'm like, oh, Marlena really wanted this thing. She's been talking about it for a minute. I'm gonna surprise her and get it for her. Like that feels better. Like I want to do that for you. So I feel like I can understand with a partner how that feels like, oh, like this is fun. Like he's been talking about this for a minute. Let me go get it for him.
Right, exactly.
Whereas like, you know, other folks, you're just like, oh, I gotta get my mama and my cousin and Uncle so-and-so a present because we related. Like, I just don't like that part of it. Like, it feels so forced. And then I don't then I feel like I'm just getting anything just to get you something. And I prefer to get something because that really reminded me of you or made me think of you or is something I thought you would really enjoy. And I feel like that's the fun of giving gifts, not this other stuff.
Okay, so then
Uh-oh.
I would say then if I was just doing that just because you're my sister or whoever it is, then at that point I would just want to give out money. And you know what? I remember one of my family members one year gave everybody like $5 or like something in a card, right? And I remember all of it, like a lot of people were like, what the hell I'm gonna do with $5, right? But then I thought about it. Now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? She just gave me whatever extra money she had. She just made sure that you got something and you could use that towards a coffee, or you could get, something off the dollar menu. I don't know whatever the fuck you want to do with that $5, but it was your choice. And I said, okay, like at least she's not being fake and being like, here's some socks,
right.
But
I feel like people get weird about when you give money. I feel like there's an unwritten standard because the dollar amount is going to look really low. Whereas she could have spent that $5 on like a really nice pair of socks and you might have been excited about them socks, or like on a pair of gloves, like some cheap gloves, but like she could have spent that $5 on something and you would have been like, oh, this is nice, but it would still be the same damn $5.
Yeah, $5. Yeah.
But because they
maybe
gave
not.
$5,
she gave $5. No, everyone was talking.
Like, oh, you just gave me $5. Like there's an unwritten expectation that it needs to be at least 20.
I don't know. I need money. Okay, not the $5 worth, but like, I mean, yeah, I'll take the 5 too. But I'm just saying, I am not
about you. They could have given
I
you
am
an
not
empty
opposed.
card.
Right, exactly. I am not opposed to a card with some money in it now.
Listen,
I'm not
me either.
But sometimes it depends. Because I'll get mad at myself because then I'll use said money for like bills or like something like just fucking dull or like food or, meaning like groceries.
I'm gonna always spend it on food.
Well, of course, but I was meaning like groceries, not me going to some nice dinner. Like, it's just like, I'll buy something.
No, you go buy
else.
yourself like an ice cream or something.
No, girl, that's not what happens. That's not what happens with the money. And then I end up getting mad at myself. Like, wait a minute, did I break that 100? And I'll be like, I did. And then I get mad. I'm like, what the fuck did I buy? What did I buy with my Christmas money? And now it's all gone. And then I get mad because I'm like, I didn't even get anything good. I didn't even get anything good. I have no idea what I did with that money. Did I need the money? Yeah. But I have no idea what I did with it. It was non-memorable.
I feel that. I prefer gift cards, and I prefer gift cards partly for that reason. One of the best things that my grandmother did a couple years ago, she gave everybody gas gift cards. And I was like, that's such a practical gift. And it's one of those things like you buy the gift card specifically for the thing. So you have to use it for the thing.
Right.
But it was something that you knew everybody was going to use and could be useful. And like, I was like, oh, I got a tank of gas. Like that, wouldn't be a tank of gas today. But
girl,
that was a really nice gift at the time. And it was really like, it was cool to have. So I prefer like, if I'm going to give some money, I'm going to give you a gift card of some sort. So then it's like, oh, and I'm going to be particular about where. But hey, if all I got is my little $5, you won't take this $5.
All I'm saying, well, no, it would not work today, that gas card, because I'm still not over it.
You have to put $100 on that thing.
I have a 10-gallon car, and that car was so that's a small, compact vehicle, and that car was $60 to fill up. And I know people are like, oh, $60. No, hell no.
Right.
When I first got that car, it was $30. How did we get here?
Right.
It's double the amount. Like,
it's definitely costing me at least $70 to fill up. If I like let it go all the way, like at least $70. And I don't like it.
No.
At that point, I don't want you to get me yes, get me a gas gift card because I don't like paying for gas. But at this point, don't waste your money either.
No.
You know what you could buy me for $70?
Some nice pants, maybe a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I complained the other day because I had went to Nordstrom's and I bought a sweater, and the sweater was like $65, but plus tax and all stuff. And I was like, for a sweater? I remember like I was just looking at the sweater. I'm like, okay, it's nice. It's, I guess it's cashmere or whatever. It's nice. But at the same time, like,
How to put that shit back.
I know. But at the time, it was like the end of the night, which I hate shopping at the end of the night because then you're like in a rush. Right. I had something to do the next day. So I was buying the sweater for something specific. But then I'm like, I can't even leave the store and go to another store to look because this is it.
Everything's going to close. Yeah.
Closing. So you have 10 minutes to make a decision. And I just go, I guess I'm buying this expensive ass sweater. And I was just, that was a lot. But... And the lady was like, this is great. Don't you just love this? And she just like keeps like, it's cool. Mm-mm. It's cool.
No, ma'am.
You know how you're just like smiling, but you're like slowly dying inside a little. That's what I was like.
When the price ring up and you want to like, $70.
Right, exactly. But I didn't say anything. I just had this little like, okay. I guess I'm paying for this. Like it was like
a mess. The cost of stuff has gone up so much. It's ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, even today I went to get a salad at Baja Fresh and I get the same thing every time. The salad, I order like 2 taquitos a la carte. And she told me it was $18 or 18 something. And I go, wait, what? It used to be 15. How do we get to 18? And she was like, and I like looked at the itemized receipt and it was just salad went up. The avocado I added went up. They're charging for the extra dressing.
They're charging extra.
They charging for everything.
The add-ons that was already extra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're there with it. They are there with it. I just want to eat. To be honest, like, can we just have Christmas dinner?
Yes.
Or can someone host a holiday party that I don't have to host? That's nice though,
Right. That's what I enjoy about the holidays too. I do like having something to open, but I really just want to eat. I want to eat and watch the kids open presents. Because there's kids in my family. So I like watching them get excited about things and have new things. And my grandparents too. Like they get something cute or something that like people usually get them like something sentimental or something really like personal or something like that. Like that feels nice to like see them get really surprised and feel really special and all of that. And the kids playing with their stuff and all of that. Like I enjoy that, but I'm less tied to opening things myself. And I just want to chill, eat, not work, not think about work.
I just want to open my account and there's more money than there was yesterday. Which sucks because like I want to be back in the holiday spirit and I forced myself to do stuff. Like I went to Disneyland and the only reason why I went to Disneyland is because I'm not paying for that shit no more. I got in because a friend of mine works there, but I'm like, I was like, okay, we're in the holiday spirit. They have like all the stuff up and the tree and, everything's decorated, as, Christmassy and people are in, good spirits and everything. So I forced myself to do that and supposedly this weekend, I'm supposed to be going to New York for the weekend to see the Mariah Carey Christmas show. And that was my Christmas present to myself. But it's cool. Kind of gone to shit a little bit because the friends that I was going to stay with are now saying I can't stay with them. And so now the budget that I had is now like tripled. Because I have to figure out where I'm going to stay.
In New York City?
In New York around the holidays. So just imagine what's going on there. So I've been going 50-50 about it. I'm like, do I just cancel this and just get the money back? But I don't know. Then it ruins the whole gift.
Right. Your gift to yourself. Completely done.
It's just gone, But I could just, stay, I guess, and just work. I don't know. Right.
That doesn't sound fun.
So I'm on the fence about that. But yeah, I just want more money, less work, and to eat something good and chill out. That's pretty much it. And Mariah is the bonus.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to be around family. I feel like it's been such a hectic year. I just want to like sit and chill with everybody and like have a meal and just enjoy each other and hang out. Because I feel like we haven't been able to do that as much in the last few years, especially with COVID. But yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to. I wouldn't say I'm not in the holiday spirit. I'm okay with keeping it simple. There are some years where I'm like, I want all the things. I'm going all out. I'm buying all the presents. I want to do all of the. But this year, I'm kind of like, I want to keep it simple. I don't need a lot. I think the last few years, if nothing else, has taught me or has shown me that like it's okay to just have people that you love around.
And that's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Oh, I know. It really is not about all this other stuff. It isn't.
At least not for most of us.
No.
I think some people definitely take all of that other stuff seriously.
I do miss being a kid though and picking out all my gifts. I really was
I was serious about the Christmas list.
Yeah, well, I never really gave I didn't start really doing lists until I was a little older and like friends started asking me what I wanted. And so then I would just I would email my friends like color coded like little sections. Like here's the cheap section, the mid section, and the expensive section. These are the things. And I would put like 3 or 4 things in each thing. And then they can, amongst themselves, if they're all planning on getting me something, can talk about who's doing what. And so they loved those lists back then. But I stopped doing that a long time ago. But with my parents, they just used to give me like the Toys R Us book or like the catalog. I would just get catalogs and they literally would go, okay,
what you want?
What do you want? And I would just put like a little dot or circle or something like next to it, or like, fold the page down a little bit. I would do that. And then I would give it back to them. And then, my mom, I don't know, I really didn't want for anything. So, Christmas was always big in my house. That's why I can't wait till I do have children so that I can redo those types of things. Cause that will be more fun for me, because now it's just like, oh, okay. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Yeah. Unless we get in like, cars and property. I don't really know.
Unless y'all out here handing out land.
Yeah. Is it land? Are we closing a deal? What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. Is it or is it memorabilia? That's the other thing. I'll never say no to memorabilia. Like, I'm a collector. I collect MJ imprint stuff, as everyone knows. So like rare shit, like I will take that all day. But other than that, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna say that to like my boss or nothing. Like, I'll take a bag. Okay. I'll take some things, trust. I will take some things. But I ain't gonna say that. But like to the people that know, they know that I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, it's cool.
Yeah. I also think this time of year can be really challenging. It's such a reminder of like people we've lost, such a reminder of challenging times throughout the year. I think it's also a big time. What I notice a lot, especially with clients during this season, is like everybody's thinking about what they didn't accomplish this year and how far they didn't come in their goals. And like, it's a really hard time where people start really reevaluating life and the next year. And what am I going to do? What's that going to look like? And all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like that also takes away, it's so stressful. It takes away from the ability to just be.
Yeah, I kind of got there a little bit the last couple of days, but I kind of snapped out of it a little bit. Just at I had a moment at my company party. Like I finally won in the company raffle after 10 years. My boss ended up giving a speech, and he had said something in the speech that was like a little, I don't want to say triggering, but he was saying, she eats, sleeps, and breathes this job. And I do put a lot into my work. I know that I do, but that is not my intention. Like it's
That's not the compliment you think it is.
Right. Like, at least not for me. And I get what
Right.
that means. Like, and for him, it's like, okay, she's hands-on. She handles the business. She does, she does good work. And I get that. I totally get that. But for my sanity and my balance, like after I lost my friend, David, in October, like since then, I've just been on this whole mindset. Like I've said before, probably in the last couple episodes, like I just want to do things that make me happy. And
Right.
I'm not saying that, what I'll say is that work is work, and it is very important to me that like I don't eat, sleep, and breathe this job. Like
Right.
I want to leave that on autopilot and of course do the work and do it correctly. But I want it to be where I can feel like I can breathe. I can do stuff.
Right.
I can step away and not feel, that added pressure of like, what if things don't go right? What if things don't go right? And that's something that I truly want to work on, for the coming year. So I think for me, the last couple of days is like, okay, like just be, like you said, like try to just be. And not to like take it personally either, you're still here, you still got time. So I just don't want to do that whole, you kind of psych yourself out.
Right.
And I don't need to do that.
Right.
Like, I really don't.
Yeah. I feel like we could do a whole episode on like New Year stuff, resolutions, setting intentions, goal setting, whatever. Like I feel like that could be a whole episode in and of itself because that's a whole thing.
Yeah, I still got my vision board from last year and it's right here and I'm looking at it. And there's some things on there that I was good at and some of them I wasn't.
Right.
And I think it's ever, those things are ever changing. It's just like, okay, that was the vision or whatever. It doesn't mean that it's not going to come true. It's just that it's going to happen at its own timing. And I can't rush or make it, of course, make it tangible and make it, of course, work towards the goal, but don't take it personally if it doesn't happen right away, because at the end of the day, it is work.
Right.
And I don't know. I aspire not to work, but I know that at least, mental health wise and emotionally and stuff like that is a constant. That is work. And that's the important, that's the important work, so it's like, I can't be judgmental on that, on it and its timing. I just can't.
Yeah. Whatever y'all do, ourselves included, whatever we do this holiday season, I feel like it's important to remind ourselves to just take our time, to be gentle with ourselves, that like December is really no different than any other month. We make such a big deal out of like, because it's the holiday and because the new year is coming, like just like this is no different than any other month. There might be a lot of things happening, a lot of things that don't feel good, a lot of reminders. Like just be really gentle with yourself, take care of yourself, because it's not worth it to stress yourself out over buying gifts or whatever you thinking about this holiday season.
Yeah.
Don't wear yourself out over it.
Nope.
The January gonna come and we're gonna be right back in the same cycle. Y'all get some rest and enjoy yourselves this holiday, whatever that looks like for you.
Yes, I approve this message.
All right, y'all. This next segment is called Roses. Marlena, who are you giving your rose to?
I'm giving my rose to Brittany Griner because these people out here are just, they hating, man. They hating. And if I see another tweet or another message out there talking about how unpatriotic it is that they let go of a pot smoking, person who hates America, I'm like, when did Brittany Griner become like enemy number one? And who said that she hated America?
That's my question.
I never heard that before. I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never heard her ever say anything like that before. And I know that she played overseas and stuff like that, but at the same time, a lot of players go over there because guess what? They don't be playing over here. And she's in the WNBA, and I know they ain't paying nowhere near the same amount that they play NBA. And I understand that. I know people, some people are like, oh, women should get paid the same amount as men. Yes, I understand that argument. But at the same time, when it comes to the different franchises, one of those franchises is not, they don't put the money into that. Right. And it's not even necessarily we need to pay them more. It's just like, what about the franchise itself? How are you going to get that in front of people where people care about it more? Because they don't. So I feel like how they're paying them is how they're paying them. I don't think it's like, oh, you specifically, and there's a lot of talented women over there too. So I don't know. I'm giving my rose to Brittany because I just saw a lot of, and I know everyone's saying, since Elon's been back on Twitter, like it's just been crazy and it has. But I just didn't know that she was an enemy of the state. Like, I just didn't know that was what was going on. Like, I got that it was politics, and I understand. I heard on another podcast the other day on Brilliant Idiots, they were saying like, no, like we get why they did that. Biden wants to check off a bunch of lists. She's a woman, she's Black. She's gay. It was a popular thing. Everyone kept talking about it over and over again. I mean, at least on Insta and different places, it was like a social thing that people wanted. So in his book, I'm sure it seemed like a win. But then there's the argument about, well, there's other people that, captives of the United States. And like, yeah, they all need to come home. Yes, they all need to come home. Right. But I felt like Russia dealt the deal that they wanted to deal. So, and look how long it took them to even come to an agreement on this. So I'm just trying to take the win.
Wasn't she over there for like 10 months?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it took them, because they were in war and they were using that. So it is what it is, but I just don't see I just don't I wish that just being Black just wasn't such a horrible thing in so many people's eyes. In so many people's eyes, really, because that's what it really
boils down to.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because had it been a white woman locked up,
there would have been cheers and
they would have been and they would have been like, praise Lord that they brought little Brittany home. It would have been a totally different conversation. Absolutely. And so I'm just, I'm shouting out
just
her.
Mad this woman got free.
They just mad. They're just mad, period. They're just saying anything. And I just shout out to her and her family. I'm happy that you home, girl. Like, fuck these haters. Fuck what they going through and what they saying. You got out of there. You were in fucking prison, okay? And let this be a lesson to you, girl.
Right.
Don't bring no shit nowhere, okay? Just be clean. Because at this point, like...
it ain't worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth your freedom.
It ain't worth
Especially not for no damn cartridges. Like, that's not...
right.
Nah. It's a no. Yeah. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
But
I hope that somebody gets her, and I'm sure she could probably afford this herself, but I really hope that somebody gets her the care that she needs after all of that. Because I can't imagine the mental and emotional toll that takes on you to be detained, not just detained, but detained overseas.
Where you don't speak the language. I don't think
10 months with no idea whatsoever about what that's gonna look like.
And they threw the book at her too.
Like, it wasn't continued to
right.
they were playing around with this woman's life.
Yeah. So
I hope that she gets some care.
I hope she does too, and her wife, because to be honest, that's going to be a hard thing to deal with. Like, she's not the same. Like, I know they're going to have a happy reunion and everything, but she is not the same. This was a traumatic experience for both.
You can't be the same after that.
Right. And I just hope that, that their love is great enough to be able to understand, like, and it not turn into, because, some people can get petty, like, well, motherfucker, I was over here trying to get you out this whole time, and then it's like, it's all this back and forth drama and shit. And I just hope that it's just like, okay, we good. Like, let's just try to move on and be better to each other and live, at this point, just fucking live and stay off of anybody's fucking radar. I wouldn't be going nowhere. Okay.
No, chill out.
Nowhere.
Chill out.
But yeah, shout out to her and her family, and sending everybody involved some good positive energy.
Right.
So we're gonna give your rose to this evening.
No one in particular, not one particular person. Just want to offer a rose to anyone who's grieving this holiday season. I think I always say, as a therapist, like, grief is one of the hardest things we do as people. And it is just a never ending cycle and never ending, like, stream of emotions, because it comes and it goes and it overflows and it overwhelms, and sometimes it gets easier and better or whatever, and it's so many emotions all rolled up into one that can be so challenging. And I think seasons like the holidays, birthdays, and even like if we have other anniversaries with that person, if they really like summer, we always saw them for the 4th of July or different things like that. Like those kind of things can bring up a lot of feelings and emotions. And so I just want to offer, like, anyone who's grieving during the holidays, I see you, I hear you, be really good with yourself, be really gentle with yourself, move through those emotions in whatever way you need to. Make a plan, like wherever you're going to be, whatever you're going to be doing, make a plan for how to get up out of there if you need to get up out of there, how to take a break when you need to take a break, or how to talk to somebody, who you can talk to if you need to talk to somebody. But yeah, I think there's a lot of us, especially at this point. I don't know, it just seems like there's been, I think partially because of COVID, but even after that, it just seems like there's been a lot of people in my world dealing with a lot of grief in the last few years. And so I know that this season's going to be really hard for a lot of us. And so just want to send some love to everybody, because it's going to be some emotions and some joys. Like, grief can also come with like missing people and missing how much you love them and how good it was with them and all of that. And that doesn't always have to feel really hard. But yeah, just acknowledging the folks who are in that this season.
Yes, it is. Grief is tricky. It can be really tricky where you're totally fine, and then all out of nowhere it's just like, whoa, where did that come from? And it comes in waves. And so I think that is a good idea to have a plan. Because shit, if you don't. It can really
go any kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. It can go any kind of way. So
you wake up thinking like, I'm ready, I'm gonna go see all the people, we gonna be good, and then you get there and you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
Right. Or the opposite. You wake up like, I'm not seeing anybody today, I just want to be by myself. And then you get partway through the day and you're like, actually, I need people today. And so give yourself the option to make different choices.
For sure. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm in that category too. So,
Me too.
It happens. We just got to be really gentle and just move through as best as we can.
Take your time, breathe through it, take care of yourself. It's going to be all right.
So they say. Horrible.
Well, that's another episode of Excess Baggage.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Excess Baggage Pod. That's Excess Baggage POD. And check us out on TikTok at Excess Baggage Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and review on the podcast app and Spotify.
And remember to pack light and keep it tight.
For the show.